Well, absolutely. Nalini, be with us. A battery of reporters getting in those details and putting that into perspective. Indrajit Kundu, Tapas, Munish Pandey, Nalini, and Shrishti Oja from right inside the court where that matter is being heard as we speak. A quick word from you also, Indrajit, at this point in time, where the argument that was made politically by the TMC is what is being reiterated in court as far as IPAC's involvement with the TMC and the signing of an agreement to strategize for the elections was signed. Sibal is arguing in the year 2021, the ED knew about it. Of course, the insinuation that the ED is now being used to, in fact, derail their own election campaign, isn't it? That's the argument that is being made in court.
Well, that's right, Sneha. As far as the
Yes.
Trinamool Congress is concerned, yesterday we heard in the Calcutta High Court how their counsel was stating that it was their political data, it is a theft of their political data. Today, Solicitor General has categorically stated what exactly is the case in point, how the IPAC is involved, and the fact that there is an amount of 20 crores Hawala money which they are investigating at this point in time. The allegation is that the IPAC organization, as a private organization, was a beneficiary of the proceeds of the crime. Now, there are important points that have been made in court by the Solicitor General. First, of course, is the ruckus that took place at the Calcutta High Court on 9th of January, the very next day after the ED raids that took place in Kolkata. During that time, the hearing could not take place at the Calcutta High Court because of absolute chaos and ruckus inside the courtroom. What the ED and the Solicitor General are now stating before the Supreme Court is that this was orchestrated chaos, that Trinamool Congress legal cell had organized the chaos and had asked their members to come to the court during the hearing and create that chaos, and that was done through WhatsApp message forwards. And that has been mentioned before the court, and which the court has now taken serious cognizance of. So apart from the what the ED investigation is happening and what the Trinamool Congress is saying, what also does not augur well for the West Bengal government and the ruling Trinamool Congress here in this matter is the fact that the Solicitor General is accusing that there is obstruction in delivery of justice in the Calcutta High Court due to this organized chaos that was created. That is the allegation right now, and something which is very serious. Also, the other factor is Solicitor General, while he was making his submission, he has also demanded from the Supreme Court that the DG of Police, Rajiv Kumar, he should be suspended and there should be a departmental inquiry against him because he was also flouting the law by accompanying the Chief Minister, which the Trinamool Congress says that she went in her capacity as a Trinamool Congress Supremo. But nonetheless, the Chief Minister went inside at a time when the Enforcement Directorate was conducting the raid, and she was accompanied by the top police officer of the state, Rajiv Kumar, and therefore now it seems that Rajiv Kumar may himself have landed in a soup by accompanying the Chief Minister, with the Solicitor General now
That's
appealing to
right.
before the Supreme Court that the court should intervene and give instructions to the department to initiate departmental probe against him.
This is an old course case, isn't it, Munish Pandey? And that's the reason why the argument of the TMC in court today is, why wait for 2 years, before then once again looking at this case. You clearly had elections in mind, and that's the reason, that's the insinuation, that it's a politically motivated matter, and that's how the ED is functioning at the behest of a political party, trying to settle political scores via this agency, isn't it? That's the argument being made as we speak, Munish.
Well, absolutely, Sneha, and the arguments
Yes.
which are being made by Abhishek Manu Singhi or Kapil Sibal is that why the searches took place just before the West Bengal elections. So there is an indication given by the advocates who are representing the West Bengal government is that, the Enforcement Directorate action against I-pac is politically linked. But overall, Sneha, if you see the arguments which have been made by the Enforcement Directorate, they are going deeper into the law. The Prevention of Money Laundering Act, under which the ED as an independent agency can conduct searches under Section 17 of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. That's the power they have. They also argued before the court is that this is the matter which is being investigated by the ED. since 2020. This is an ongoing investigation. That is why the searches were on a private entity, that is I-pac. It is not an entity which is politically connected to TMC, or it is not a wing of TMC. That is the argument made by the Enforcement Directorate. But interesting part is, Sneha, that the Supreme Court has also taken cognizance of what happened in the High Court, and Supreme Court has expressed its strongest displeasure over the High Court, the ruckus created over the High Court, and that is why it is going to be very interesting that what are the observations which are being made by the High Court at this point of time. Also, Sneha, you remember the DGP was also present when this entire searches were taking place. And India Today was the first channel to report that DGP had threatened the ED officials allegedly that if you record anything in Panchnama, if you seize any documents, then we are going to arrest you. And that is serious, grave allegations which was made by, the Enforcement Directorate, and it is part of the petition also which the Enforcement Directorate has filed. Now, it seems that not only the DGP, but also the Kolkata Police Commissioner and the DCP of that area, all of them are in trouble because ED, through their writ petition, have requested the Supreme Court to take action against them and to suspend them also. Sneha.
That's right. Munish, be with us. I'm requesting Indrajit Kundu and Tapas as well as Nalini to continue to be with us on that story, even as more details are emerging from the Supreme Court on what is happening as far as Kapil Sibal, of course, the TMC Mamata Banerjee's argument in court is concerned. Nalini, Sibal arguing, for Mamata Banerjee, talking about the fact that they knew there was election material, and that's the reason why they went there. The charge by TMC is directly against the Enforcement Directorate. And on the other hand, questions being raised on the timing of this, and also the fact that they wanted to seize election-related material. That's a big charge that has been made by the TMC in court, isn't it?
Yes, Neha. In fact, the TMC is also questioned as to why the ED had to come and investigate the coal block scam 2 years after it first happened in the state of West Bengal. They're also questioning the motive of the TMC. They're stating that they knew that I-pac had sensitive electoral data, which is why they raided I-pac, hoping to collect that sensitive data related to the TMC that was there with the I-pac. To which the Supreme Court has asked, is it the I-pac that conducts the elections in West Bengal, or is it the Election Commission of India? Sibal has, of course, replied that there was data that was there with the I-pac. It was sensitive political electoral data, and the ED was aware of that. Sibal has also gone ahead and said that even though in the Panchnama, the ED has clearly stated that they had seized nothing during the raid, which is also a statement they'd also made before the Calcutta High Court, but that doesn't protect them, or that doesn't refrain them from taking pictures of the documents that they had seen there in the I-pac office as well as Pratik Jain's residence. He also says that there are several facts in this case that need to be gone into before it can be decided as to whether or not the Supreme Court should take up this case for hearing, or should it be the Calcutta High Court. The court has said then that we will have to examine. You file the counter, you can't say no to issuing notice. So it seems that the intention, Sneha, at this point of the Supreme Court is to issue a notice to the West Bengal government officially calling for their response, so that the Supreme Court can then take cognizance of the matter and decide whether or not a CBI probe is required into the events that had happened when the face-off between Mamata Banerjee and the Enforcement Directorate was happening on the streets of the West Bengal. But at the same time, like I told you earlier, it seems like TMC and Mamata Banerjee would rather prefer for this hearing to happen before the Calcutta High Court. They think it is more possible to get a favorable order there, which is why Sibal made a big statement when he said that if the Supreme Court is going to take cognizance of their matter, then they should say that they don't believe that the High Court can dispense justice. But of course, Supreme Court said nothing of that sort. They have said that this is a very serious case, that they not only want to look into it, but they are going to look into aspects of this. They've also said that they were very disturbed with what happened before the Calcutta High Court, the kind of chaos that ensued, because of which the hearing had to be adjourned, and the fact that the allegation is that that entire chaos was manufactured by the legal cell of the TMC is also something probably that the Supreme Court is going to look into. So it seems that the inclination is that the notice is going to be issued, but we're still waiting for that pronouncement to come from the Supreme Court. Sneha.